There's a device that I've been using called a Whoop.
Hello, and welcome back to IGOW3. Field reporter Danny here on location at this wall to introduce weekly challenge number 22, the RacerX wall taps. A wall tap is a maneuver where you intentionally contact a vertical surface with the base of your drone, bounce off, and then fly away. This maneuver can lead to some whoop damage because you are crashing into the wall, essentially, but you just need to try to control that. Alright, now let's go back to Dan and Liz in IGOW Studios so they can break down this week's challenge.
Thanks, field reporter Danny. This week's featured sponsor is RacerXFPV. They make some of the most popular frame kits on the market. Their original product was the Speed Racer Twig. TWIG stands for tiny weight in grams. The Twig V2 frame itself only weighs 8.6 grams, so most builds come in around 50 grams total. The one-piece carbon fiber base with standoffs and screws to hold an all-in-one whoop-style FC became very popular after the original Twig was released. Tons of copycat frames that clearly base their design on Twig flooded the market, but none of them have matched the quality of the RacerX frames.
RacerX has expanded the Twig product line and now has frame options for any size quad you want to build. They all still utilize the single-piece carbon fiber base and are set up for an all-in-one style flight controller, making them some of the lightest frame options available. The smallest of the bunch are the Twiglet and Twiglet Mini, which are for 2.5-inch and 2-inch prop builds respectively. Then in the 3-inch prop size, there is the Twig V2, the updated version of the original Twig, and the Twig Tank, which is the same shape but twice as thick on the carbon fiber frame, and the Twig XL, which has a bit more space between the motors. For 4-inch props, RacerX has the Twig Mutant 4, and then for 5-inch, they have the extraterrestrial Twig 5, or ET5 for short, and the RacerXtreme 5-inch, which is only 35 grams, making a full 5-inch racer build come in at just over 200 grams. Finally, if you want to build a giant quad with 7-inch props, RacerX has the Megabat 7, which is 275 millimeters from motor to motor and only 65.5 grams. RacerX has provided a bunch of these frames as prizes this week, as well as different RacerX swag that will go with each of the frames.
Wow, they have a frame for pretty much any size quad. So, if you have a heavy ducted whoop, or a micro bind and fly, or really any quad that isn't flying well, consider taking the components and transplanting them into a RacerX frame. The reduced weight and solid one-piece frame design will almost certainly make it fly better. You can purchase RacerX frames at any of these retailers, but we suggest Good Venture Drones because they're also a sponsor of IGOW. Links are in the description box below.
RacerXFPV was created by Byron Graves, who personally designs all the frames. He insists on only using the highest quality carbon fiber and chamfering all the edges on his cuts. This means that RacerX frame kits are often more expensive than similar looking knockoff copies. I highly recommend buying a genuine RacerX frame kit because it will be much more durable and they come with the multicolored 3D printed accessories that make the finished builds look so cool.
RacerX also supports the FPV community by sponsoring standout pilots like IGOW3 Season Champion, Daylight FPV, and IGOW Season 1 participant, Iceman FPV. Big thanks to Byron for supporting IGOW and providing a bunch of frame kits and swag to give away as prizes. Okay, now let's jump into the requirements for weekly challenge number 22, the RacerXFPV wall taps. Requirement number 0 is that your video can be no more than 90 seconds and you must follow all of the IGOW3 posting rules.
Requirement number 1 is you must perform a nose up wall tap, a nose side wall tap, and a nose down wall tap, and then a ceiling tap, all in one clip with no bumps, ground taps, or failed wall tap attempts. The wall taps can be in any order, but the ceiling tap must be last.
Requirement number 2 is that you must perform a downtown tap and an oracle tap in the same clip, with no bumps, ground taps, or failed tap attempts in between. A downtown tap is a nose down wall tap immediately followed by a front flip as you come off the wall. And an oracle tap is a 3/4 roll into a side nose tap. You can do this in either direction.
Requirement number 3 is that requirement number 1 and 2 must be done inside with 10-foot max ceiling height. And each wall tap in a requirement must be done on a different vertical surface. Wall taps are one of the more difficult tricks to learn because while practicing in the simulator, you can learn the approach for the tricks, but the computer is not great at simulating what bouncing off the wall and recovering really feels like. It will take some practice in real life to get used to how fast you need to fly at the wall and when you need to start positioning yourself to contact the wall with the base of your drone to still have enough speed to bounce off the wall, but not so much speed that you smash into the wall and crash. If you're having trouble with your wall taps, check out the Infinity Loops Whooptorial Wednesday on the subject, which should help you find the balance needed for the perfect wall tap. Good luck and happy whooping!